Hello, and welcome to Studio A. I'm Sam McCarthy, and joining me today are Alyssa Pierce, Brendan Snow, Hunter Butner, and Katie Carver. We'll have stories on a new online learning system at Texas State, the growing use of CBD oil, and problems in the dorms. But first, the seemingly unstoppable growth of San Marcos. It's no secret that San Antonio and Austin have been growing in population for years, now that growth has expanded along the I-35 corridor to San Marcos. Katie Carver has more.
With new businesses and opportunities in San Marcos, it's an appealing place to be for those who want to get away or commute from the city. Take a look. Population growth along I-35 has reached San Marcos, with the once small hill country town being named one of the fastest growing cities in America. According to the San Marcos Planning and Zoning Commission, the city is set to reach a population of more than 87,000 by the year 2030. Texas State student Liana Dolazin says she loves living in San Marcos, but the roads have gotten crowded.
The traffic here is already bad as it is, partially because of construction, but it's just bad in general.
Kyle resident John Lucas says growth along I-35 will improve the economy of small towns between Austin and San Antonio.
You're going to get traffic since Highway 35 is a main corridor for Texas leading north or south. It should bring in your usual travelers for weekend trips down south, but then you've got folks that are commuting back and forth between San Marcos to Austin. So there's making more businesses available along the 35 corridor is going to be a good boom.
One of the biggest new developments in San Marcos is the senior community of Kissing Tree. The gated community has 15 miles of hiking trails, an 18-hole golf course, and is located right across from the outlet malls, making it an appealing retirement destination. The outlet malls offer plenty of shopping for residents and tourists and has contributed to the rapid growth of San Marcos south of I-35. For Studio A, I'm Katie Carver.
So, Katie, how much do they expect San Marcos to grow?
So, to give you a comparison, from 2014 to 2030, they're expecting a 44% increase, which explains the traffic and no parking around here.
One of the visible signs of that growth in town is the plethora of apartments. They seem to spring up like weeds. But Hunter Butner says that there's a dark side to that.
Sam, it doesn't matter whether they're old or new. Security at San Marcos Apartments isn't what it should be. When it comes to choosing a place to live in San Marcos, there's really no shortage of options. Since the city has such a large student population, new apartment complexes seem to spring up constantly, and older ones are easy to come by. So if you're looking to move here, what are some factors you might need to consider when deciding where to live? Well, you don't have to ask around for long before you start to notice a common problem that most of these complexes have.
My roommate who was walking down the stairs of our building, and this girl was also walking in front of her, and this man grabbed her ankle and tried to grab her down to abduct her. And so I guess, yeah, it's pretty bad.
So far this year, there have been a total of 7 incidents to occur at San Marcos apartment complexes. Just during the production of this story, a string of 4 break-ins took place, 2 of which resulted in the sexual assault of the women living there. Along with that, there have been 2 murders and a robbery, which occurred earlier in the year. On April 5th, another supposed drug deal gone wrong ended in the death of 21-year-old Nicholas Devone White. Just 3 weeks later, you can see that the gates are still left ajar. Some residents wonder if this could happen again, and one resident is concerned for his own safety.
I heard 3 loud pops, and I was like, whoa, that's kind of crazy. So I opened up my window blinds to see a bunch of students running away from the pool area, and I was like, whoa, that's crazy. That's when it turned out that there was a shooting at Uptown Square, which kind of freaked me out. Because like I was there, I heard it, I saw people running away from it, but it turned out that like I was okay, but like I totally could have been there. And it's kind of crazy that it would happen at Uptown, which is known as like a really like upscale apartment complex. And that kind of means that it could happen anywhere. Literally at any apartment, this could have happened.
Basic functioning gates that limit access to properties are few and far between here. The property might have been built without gates, or the gates are in some state of disrepair, or at some point just removed entirely. Too many apartments are lacking this basic feature. Many have opted to instead enforce stricter towing regulations, hoping to scare off trespassers. But that just left properties open for anybody to come and go as they please. With Studio A, I'm Hunter Butner.
So Hunter, could you tell us a little bit more about what's been happening recently?
Well, yeah, just this past week, Sunday there were a string of 3 break-ins. 2 happened at the Edge Apartments, and 1 was at Dakota Ranch. And then this past Wednesday, a man snuck into a woman's apartment at the Cottages, and then when she came home, he sexually assaulted her at gunpoint.
Wow, that's crazy.
Life as a college student can be stressful. Between work, classes, and being ghosted on Tinder, it often feels like the whole world is crumbling on top of us. And for some of us who live in the dorms, that's literally the case. I visited a couple of students who live on campus to see just how they're coping with the living conditions that one might consider dormy. Take a look. With all the renovation at LBJ and Alkek in full swing, some students are wondering when the same treatment will be given to the dorms on campus. Dorms like Arnold Hall, which was built in 1962, are in need of some love and care, or at least says current resident Andrea Bono.
It was Thanksgiving, sorry. My air conditioner started leaking and I came back from the break and my whole room was flooded.
The issue is fixed quickly, but one problem that isn't so lucky is the dorm's microwave.
And we only have one microwave and it's like 24 people and it's broken. Like it still works, but it doesn't spin, so your food is like kind of messed up.
Arnold isn't the only dorm with issues, however. Lantana resident Moira Fuller said she's been having issues not only with the technical aspects of the dorm, but the chain of command as well.
Half the time the RA doesn't know how to fix it either, and so it just becomes this chain of like, okay, well you tell the RA, and then the RA tells the hall director, and then the hall director tells someone, and then someone has to figure something out, so.
There are a few renovation projects being carried out on Blanco, and the new dorm is being built where Hornsby and Burleson used to be. An RA for Tower Dorm tells us there are plans to tear down Sterry Hall, but what's replacing it isn't more dorms, but rather a new music building. It looks like Texas State students will have to live in their current conditions for a while longer. For Studio A, I'm Sam McCarthy.
So Sam, often going to school, tuition, and living can cost a lot. Are students getting what they're paying for with these dorms?
I'm afraid not. Moira Fuller told me off camera that she's paying the same amount here for a bedroom with a roommate and a communal bathroom as she paid at UTSA for a bedroom without a roommate and a suite bathroom. So I'm afraid it's not as much bang for your buck. Coming up on Studio A, students and faculty at Texas State will have to adapt to a new online learning management system. What's that? And with the move to legalize marijuana across the country, CBD oil is becoming more and more common in all sorts of things. We'll have those stories right after this.
Southside Community Center is a nonprofit organization committed to improving the living conditions and personal dignity of those in need. Located on South Guadalupe Street in San Marcos, Texas. Laura volunteers at the center every day as the head cook to ensure that the homeless of San Marcos receive a hot meal every night. She's preparing a hearty meal of beef and cheese enchiladas with beans and rice for the homeless visiting the center for dinner.
Here at Southside, we cook dinner for the homeless every day at 5 o'clock, anywhere from 30 to 40 people, and I just enjoy cooking and giving back to the shelter.
Get involved by visiting southsidecommunitycenter.org or call 512-392-6694.
For 15 years, professors and students at Texas State have used an online platform called Trax for their classes. But now, Trax is being phased out, and a new learning management system will take its place next fall. But as Cody Tracy tells us, we don't yet know what that system will be.
Trax has been the LMS software used by Texas State for over a decade. However, that is about to change, as Texas State is replacing Trax with new LMS software this fall. The two finalists are Canvas and Brightspace. Texas State has tested both this semester, and their final decision awaits students, faculty, and staff.
So, using Trax as the existing LMS, and let's say that we get a new LMS, whether it's Canvas or Brightspace. So the migration, or rather installing the software, is a pretty quick process. So it's, if we get it, it will take a couple of months to just install the software package. But in order to get everybody on it and using it, that'll probably take about a year.
The university says there are requirements to change tracks.
So there's a lot of different requirements. When you think of tracks, we've had it for longer than 15 years, and really the features were developed over time as a collaboration with other universities. It's open source software. So some of the features that we felt like we were lacking in tracks that we're looking for in a new LMS were interoperability with third-party vendors.
Texas State has not yet announced its next LMS software. An announcement is expected sometime after the spring semester is over. All that is certain is that students and faculty will have a new learning management system to learn this fall. For Studio A, I'm Cody Tracy.
Another thing.
So Hunter, have you used anything other than tracks?
Well, yeah, actually at my previous school, Temple University, go Owls, we used Blackboard, and I was kind of hoping we would switch to that one.
It should be an interesting transition.
Yeah, I'm waiting for it.
Another thing we're adapting to is the legalization of marijuana. A number of states have it, and Texas lawmakers will vote on it during the next legislative session. But one of the main ingredients in marijuana, CBD oil, is already available. Gabriela Sanchez says you can get it in more and more consumer goods.
While much of the San Marcos population may look to weed as a stress reliever, there is an alternative. CBD, legal and effective, is readily available at Lazy Days. If you're interested in learning more about CBD or thinking about giving it a try yourself, the shop welcomes you to walk in between hours 10 a.m. to 9 p.m.
CBD can be used in many different ways. It can be used for ADHD, for Parkinson's.
Lazy Days offers a variety of CBD products including hemp flower, CBD-infused tea, and even dog treats. The shop also hosts events in their backyard area. Head of Operations personally uses the product as well.
I use CBD personally just for my overall health, just like as you were asking earlier. It just helps me with my daily, just to get over any edge that I'm needing.
Whatever your problem may be, Lazy Days can help offer some relief. For Studio A, I'm Gabriela Sanchez.
So, Brendan, what kind of things have you seen CBD oil in?
CBD gets used in all kinds of different things. We saw that coffee, pills, any kind of baked goods, shampoo, pretty much all kinds of everyday products that you use.
Huh. When Studio A returns, students and animals take advantage of recreational opportunities in San Marcos, and Bobcat Paws recognizes students and alumni who have passed away. But first, we'll take a look at these messages.
Well, the Greenbelt Alliance is actually, I guess, the way I put my values in motion. Eventually, the work we've done here will impact people, and those impacts will be manifested the next day or maybe a century later.
The San Marcos Greenbelt Alliance aims to keep people connected to nature. The volunteers consist of people who value the natural world and are interested in educating the public about conserving green space. Some of the activities include planting trees around the trails in order to further grow and expand the ecosystem. You can become a part of the San Marcos Greenbelt Alliance by contacting them at 512-392-7457 or by visiting their website, smgreenbelt.org.
Summer is getting close, and students are already starting to make use of one of the campus's major attractions, Sewell Park. Brendan Snow thought that was all the reason he needed to stop by and take a look.
Sewell Park has been a staple of Texas State University ever since 1917. Founded by a mathematics professor named Dr. S.M. Froggy Sewell. After pitching the idea, the university was leased 4 acres from the U.S. Bureau of Fisheries and named it Riverside Park until 1946 when it was renamed to honor Dr. Sewell.
The river, yeah, definitely it did. It's, I mean, Sewell Park here, it's technically campus property. You know, it's right here on campus. Anytime you just come straight from class over here and just hang out at the river, you know, really blow off some steam, just, you know, think about other things than class, you know.
Sewell also has an outdoor center located right off the riverbank that offers different kinds of rentals such as kayaks, canoes, tents, spike ball, snacks, beverages, and more. There are also 2 sand volleyball courts, a basketball court, and plenty of open green grass for all your recreational desires.
Well, I mean, it's a beautiful environment. The people here are great. The river's absolutely beautiful. And I like to come out here and play hacky sack. It's a great sport, really good for exercise and health.
With finals coming up and the weather getting warmer, a day at Sewell Park may be just what you need to clear your mind. For Studio A, I'm Brendan Snow.
Brendan, what do you like to do at Sewell?
I like to get my roommates and some friends, go up there, play some sand volleyball, take a nice dip in the river because it's always nice and cool, being 72 degrees year round, and it's just a really fun environment to be in.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just people who like the amenities around San Marcos. Pets have nice options too. Reed Graff says the dog park here has just undergone some big renovations.
San Marcos is the home to countless numbers of dogs. Many of those canines come to the San Marcos Dog Park to expend all that energy. The park recently underwent some major renovations, and with that came some big changes. The parks now have new water fountains, new benches, and even an improved gate system. The biggest change, however, is the fencing that now divides what was once one big field and one smaller park into 4 different parks. Local dog owners have shown a mixed reaction to the changes, with some saying there's still some things left to be desired.
I like they're putting more trees in, getting some more shade. Maybe a couple more benches would be nice, just because when this place gets packed, there's really no seating room.
On the other side of the spectrum, some people are very pleased with the renovations.
I actually like it a lot. It's nice because the other, like Lucy used to only be able to go on the small side, so now, you know, there's a lot more to do. The water facilities are better. There's more like nicer seating, better coverage too, shade coverage, so I like it personally a lot.
Other concerns expressed from people off camera include the terrain of the park resulting in muddy puddles and the lack of what is needed to clean up after the dogs. One thing is certain, however, the dogs are still enjoying the park. For Studio A, I'm Reed Graff.
So Hunter, do you take any of your dogs to the dog park?
Well, I don't have any dogs myself, but I take my friend's dog to there all the time, and they're really lacking stations to clean up.
Well, maybe they should install more trash cans or benches.
That would be neat.
This year marked the 32nd annual Bobcat Pause, an annual event that honors members of the campus community who have recently passed away. Erica Sanders attended the event.
Each year, the Texas State Student Foundation and the Dean of Students Office host the Bobcat Pause Memorial Service. This event provides the Texas State community an opportunity to remember students as well as current and retired faculty and staff who have passed away.
The university keeps track of our students and our faculty, staff, and then that pass away during the year, as well as retirees. We start with a reception in the LBJ ballroom, so families can come in and mingle. Families actually can come a little early and bring mementos and photographs of their loved ones and set them out. So then when the reception starts, guests, families can walk through, view the different memorials, and think about the people that we've lost this year.
David Ortiz of Pasadena, Texas was an exercise and sports science major who was passionate about sports.
He loved sports and loved music, and he did both since he was really little.
The memorial service included musical performances, recognition of honoree, and a slideshow of our fallen Bobcats. Although these Bobcats are no longer with us, they will always still be a part of our community and the university. For Studio A, I'm Erica Sanders.
Well, that's a wrap for Studio A this semester. For Alyssa Pierce, Brendan Snow, Hunter Butner, and Katie Carver, I'm Sam McCarthy. We'll be back in June with a summer semester run, so watch for us on YouTube. But until then, have a great break.